Welcome to SolidCAM Professor. I'm Sydney, your SolidCAM Professor, with one of many videos available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this recording, we'll show you sample toolpaths that we get from different types of geometries and different types of technologies. So if I were to go into my geometry right now and create a new geometry according to, say, this shaped stock as shown over here, I'll choose my geometry, say click on the stock itself as shown over here, and I'll have it go as silhouette. So my geometry will actually be according to the shape of my stock itself. Let's use an end mill of 12 millimeters for this for now. If I were to go into my levels, I'll leave my levels exactly the way it is. And in my technology, I'd like to use the option of hatch. Now let's go back in here and change this to zigzag. And what I'd also like to do is go into my levels and have it go down of a step down of every 0.3 millimeters. Now, note when I go to my technology, we have our depth type of zigzag. And our hatch will also be at zigzag. If we run our simulation, you'll see that our tool path goes down, tool goes down across the part, this time going in a zigzag motion across over here, but it's only going down 0.3 millimeters. So when it finishes its tool path, note what happens. It'll go down to the next step and then work its way back in a zigzag motion. It did not go up and go back to the beginning. And this is done the same thing as we go along the entire part. Again, going down every single time it gets to the end and continuing on exactly from that point. If I were to go back over here and change the depth type cutting to one way, if we take a look at our simulation again, and I'll do this again one step at a time, you'll see that our tool goes across just like before, but when it finishes now, it'll go up to its clearance area, go across, and then start again from the same way, keeping our cutting direction always in our depth from the same starting point. Now, let's go back to our levels and change our step down again to 1 millimeters, and we'll go back to our technology. In our technology, I'll leave my floor offset at 0.2 millimeters and click on Finish. If I run my simulation, we'll take a look at the actual depth as we have in our Z level over here. If we go down, our first step goes across, and you can see that our Z level is 0.2 millimeters. In other words, 0.2 millimeters offset from the actual zero surface that we want to go down to. It'll go across, and when it finishes the step, since I had marked off that I also want to do finish, it'll go back to its zero level as shown over here, finishing off the entire part until the very, very end. Now, another example we can show here is as follows. Let's say I have this area over here already milled out, and all we have to do is mill out on top of these stubs that we have over here, which is lower down than the upper surface over here. What we can do is as follows. We'll start another face operation, and this time when I choose my geometry, I'll use the option of faces. In my faces, I'll choose this surface, and this surface, accept it, and I'll also take it, instead of one area over here working on the entire area, I'll just change it into separate areas as shown over here. The tool that I will be using is a 12 millimeter end mill, and the 12 millimeter end mill is enough to cover the entire area of this surface as shown over here. So if we go into our levels, I have my upper level as this surface as shown over here, and my lower level, my face depth, will be up until that surface over here. And in this case, my technology, since I do cover the entire surface with this tool, I'll use the option of one pass. Going back to my levels again, I have complete control of my step down. So I'll do a step down of every 5 millimeters. But again, in my technology, I'll have a floor offset of 0.2 and then finish them as well. Now note, when I run my simulation, the tool will go down, work on that surface, go back up, work on the next one, and then finish off the next one. Now it'll go back and then finish off the Z level on each one of those surfaces, working on each one of them individually. This way, we didn't have to go on the entire area itself. It just did one pass on top of each one of these slots. For more videos on SolidCam Professor, please go to our website, www.solidcam.com, and look for the tab called SolidCam Professor. Thank you for joining us on SolidCam Professor. Take care and have a nice day.